Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We're already on the way here in this ranked game as I'm playing ranked again, trying to move up from second lieutenant. And I swear, every time I do, I run into people captain or above. It's been so long since I've seen someone, sergeant, corporal, private, unranked, anything like that. I played a couple of majors around here too, and we'll see those games as well. But my opener here leaves a lot to be desired, and we'll see why. It had potential, I think, but the Tiger Hap PH2 Tiger buy was probably a little bit overzealous. These really don't serve all that much of a complementary purpose, and had my opponent dived me right away with that plane, he probably could have killed one at least. And PH Tiger for recon is very nice, but I'm mostly focusing on Delta. I'm pretty much ignoring Golf, with the exception of a single unit of recon infantry, and my opponent, the Captain Pushistik, gave me a very tough fight here. Now, it does only go to about the 23-minute mark, and of course not all of that is gameplay, some of that was setup, but the initial engagement and how the game ends up were very different, and I figured, why not talk about it, why not show it, and of course people do tend to like ranked games that do have higher stakes after all, so it's a good time. Now, my Tiger Hap and PH2 Tiger shut up the block one, and this made me really upset because I didn't expect this coming in. I was microing stuff over on the other side, and because of it, I no longer have enough missiles to hit that AH-64 escort, or at least I won't, when my stingers miss. One miss, and two, well, it's a hit, but it's not enough to kill because the escort does have 6 strength. Now, down goes the Tiger Hap, Tiger taking some fire, and I should have been retreating out, but I wasn't. So the AH-64 gets the kill there with his autocannon, and that is 240 points worth of losses right there. In fact, I think we recently had a ranked replay submitted, a community cast submitted by Viet Cong, who, well, his opponent surrendered when he lost about 360 points in the opener, and I'm most of the way there without any kills on the way back. I did, of course, lose an AMX-10 RC as well, both of them going down the highway, which I had intended to be a little bit of a surprise. And yeah, that's 80 points tacked on top of it, 320 points for free. So I've lost a third of my opener. My opponent still has pretty much the entirety of his own, and we are scrapping on. So I want you guys to make your bets right now. Do I win this game? Do I lose this game? How is it going to go? And what would you do if you were in the same position? Now, my Legion 90 do get a kill there, but it's not on something important. So it was, I think it was just a vehicle, infantry fighting vehicle, something like that. And because of the stun, remember, Erics are guided. Because of the stun here, because of the fire support from Pushistik, I can't actually kill his 2A4NL, which, that 2A4NL, a little bit of a heavier tank than my Leopard 2A4 at 130 points. Of course, the NL, I believe, is 145, a bit heavier gun, but the same armor. So we'll see how that goes here. I'm moving up, and I basically decided to myself, this is very close to a GG right here. And if I want to change that, I have to make dynamic, aggressive plays and double down on it, because if I just sit and I wait and I give my opponent time, I'm going to lose. I'm just behind on that much value. He has a lot of stuff in the corner of Delta, and it wasn't really that well spread out. I think he was playing Dutch National, by the way, so it is a little bit of an odd pick there as well. I'm, of course, playing as, let's see, Eurocorps. Yeah, there we go. Standard 2A4. I had the NL in my head. Wasn't really thinking about it all that well. And I've mostly bought anti-air. Most of my buys are on the ground. I'm getting reservists up and forward to try and screen for Delta. I'm getting recon infantry up to Echo to make up for losing that Tiger in the opening. I want this town. Now, I shouldn't be able to get it now, because if I got crumpled there, and you can see Red Forward forces near this town as well, Pushistik should have had enough time to get something into that town block, and the fact that he doesn't, or I don't think he had at the time, is going to come back to bite him pretty hard, because this gives me recon over a lot of this area, of course not through the woods back here, but certainly over a lot of this area. Now, my VAB T2013, this is a little rude, but it's ranked. We're playing to win, and we're playing one-on-one on a very big map, and I plan on taking advantage of that. So we're just going around, seeing what we can kill there with that autocannon vehicle, treating them basically like a Finnish KT. Now, Commandos Para and the VAB T2013, I don't want the Verploeg shooting at the VAB, but right after he shoots, I move in. Now we get the autocannon online, and that fragile 5 strength infantry does go down there very quickly. And I think to myself, you know what? Let's project strength here. Let's get a cap on Echo. Probably shouldn't have. I think I was actually told this was a mistake. I asked for a bit of a review from some expert players, including Gatsu, who's currently doing our unit comparison videos most days as well, and he said that was a mistake as well. It was just one of those where my opponent has been so passive after a big opener, I thought maybe I could get away with it. Now this VAB, that was command infantry inside that truck. So that's 105 probably points worth of swing back in my direction, plus annoyance now, because the Red Fort player has to think, oh shoot, I have something back there he doesn't know about, and it killed his command infantry, which is very annoying. he was looking for Captain Charlie, and he has to go deal with that right now. So he has to move other assets over. It's 105 points killed. It's more than that redirected. So that goes a little bit to the swing that we had so far. Leopard Rekenning moving up, and I don't have the strength to it. So as soon as I see that, these AMX 1390s that were moving forward are going to be moving back, trying to make sure that they don't die. Or at least I think they should. Right about here. Oh, come on. Yes. There we go. Recording Black Knight. Much better than in-game Black Knight, but we're moving back away from the Forgetting, just trying to stay away, and of course there is an attack helicopter that was coming over to kill my VAB. Now, there's only one option, I believe, available to Dutch that behaves like that, which means that it's roughly 130 points, 140 points, I think, and it's basically what is it? I haven't played Dutch in so long, I should do that again. But it's an expensive attack helicopter, and my 2A4 now, moving up with the AMX-13 BTTs, when I saw that, I thought to myself, okay, I have the time until he gets up here to make this play, because after that, my 2A4 is going to be in some serious trouble, and I need smoke. We have smoke coming on the way. There's the 2A4 now, one shot coming in, down to 1 strength left, and his hit, bringing me down to 1 as well. So 145 points to my 130 point 2A4. There's the kill. So 145 point kill, and that hard point has been relatively well busted through. Now my Legion 90 shouldn't be up here, shouldn't be taking that fire, and there it is, the H64 TD, 130 points, and 16 Hellfire smoke. Killed that first missile. The second missile that's about to be on the way here, I got lucky. And to a certain extent, that's just going to be something you have to consider in these games. You're going to get lucky, you're going to get unlucky. Your opponent's going to have some luck of his own as well, and we'll see some of my opponent Pushistic's luck here in just a couple of minutes. But with us about 7 minutes into the game, I was feeling much more confident now than I was at the beginning. We have Commando Para up in Echo, we have Flux Milans here just for a little bit of screening, we have Legion 90 getting all the way forward. There's no reason that this should not have been taken by the Red 4 player. He had all the time in the world, especially with that aggressive opener on my part fizzling out, to just put something there. Just anything. Doesn't really even matter all that much. Yep, here's some luck back in his direction. Peace Shrine, 2 shots, any one of them hitting will kill the Verkenning. 2 misses. That shouldn't happen all that often, just keep that in mind, because you might see it again. Minor spoilers, but going after the Rekenning, it at least does scare him back, and double block 1 by. Now, these are each 90 points. They're dedicated helicopter hunters, they're not really meant for anti-plane work because their missiles are too short distance. Keep that in mind as well, and just think about how Pushistic is using them later on in this game, because I think there are a couple observations that can be made about that. Now my VABs, killing Stu Trippin in the open, killing YP408 PWIs, this is just excellent for me. Those guys are 20 points each, they're really solid infantry too. Stu Trippin 95 are considered, I think, some of the best forest grinding infantry in the entire game, and of course, getting them shot from afar by AMX 1390 is not how you want these guys to be used. So AMX 1390s have a very high rate of fire, and they're able to take those guys out, when otherwise it would have been a winning fight. So a little bit of fire support goes a long way. I wanted that Cheater Brendel A1, but my 2A4 is a little scared. He's down on 1 strength, and I'm getting a resupplied truck up to him, but until we heal up there, there's no point in really using that, especially knowing that there was the H64 TD somewhere nearby. Now, this... oh, yep, there he is. This engagement surprised me a little bit. So the Verkenning's moving forward. There was also a Cheetah Prandl back behind there. That, of course, is the, I believe, 55 point, yep, Dutch anti-air gun back there. And the 1390s, the French version uses heat, which has its pros and cons, but we're inside of max range here, and I would have loved to have a little bit of kinetic scaling. Of course, 8 frontal armor isn't that heavy, so we will do, I think, 2 points per hit. Yep, 2 points per hit with heat. We might have done a little bit more with kinetic. Without seeing the exact range scaling, it's a little hard to tell. But we actually get a stun on the Verkenning. I'm saying actually too much. Oh man, one of those days. And because of that stun, both of my MX 1390s are still alive, still shooting in, and that might not last forever. Here comes the answering fire from the Verkenning. 1 shot down range, there's the kill, and we get the kill in return. Of course, these guys, for me, are 25 points each, and the Verkenning is 65, so that was definitely at cost or better for my team. Now, I have control of Delta, I have control of Echo, I have enough screening in Golf so that it's not completely going to get blown through, or so I think. Or so I think. What I don't have a lot of is base defense. I have a Panther back here, I have nothing up in Foxtrot, my only recon is a Commando's Para. I should have, when this stuff started going well, been putting a bit more screening elements both in Foxtrot and Hotel, and this is something that I will very shortly come to regret. Now, sometimes in Ranked, there's a sort of, at least from what I've seen, a little bit of a détente. As in, I won't do all that cringy, well not cringy, but all that's hard-nosed competitive stuff if you don't. But whoever starts it first gets it in return, and oh man, this is such a nice kill. The AH-64TD, by the way, can't see the VAB. There's no recon up here. He just thinks he's getting shot from nowhere. He might not even realize that's what's getting shot, because that VAB was hidden, gets the TD, 130-point kill, and now we have an elite elite veterancy VAB. Of course, really wonderful autocannon on that vehicle. Commando Para, dealing with the last of the Stutroopen, and with the AMX 1390 support, we're winning here. 2A1, maybe not the best buy, but with the number of Verkennings coming down this way, and just the feeling that Pushistic... Oh, here it is. Yeah, well, wish I hadn't bought the 2A1, because there's an escort, and I bought a second 2A1 just then. If I hadn't bought this, we would have had another Peace Rhine come out and hit that guy. It's not a great solution. Planes are always a panic buy, but I'm trying to avoid his rocket pods by blipping in and out of this town. Doesn't quite work as well as I was hoping, but yeah, right there, we're invisible. I should have just stayed. If I had stayed, probably would have stayed invisible until he moved the escort, which he was microing this, so he was looking for the kill there, and he gets it. So I lose Foxtrot, I lose my reinforcing zone, my other Peace Rhine is still on cooldown, trying to get back into play, but there's a Leopard 2A1 NL. We might be able to make something of it here, except he gets the kill there, and my VAB now firing in at some of his supporting elements, the YPRs, is a little bit outclassed, so 2A1 takes him down as well. And this is a big swing. This whole game has been a game of big swings, and that escort, well, now that my original Peace Rhine is healed back up, I don't want that thing surviving and getting out. We do get a little bit of revenge there. Second missile just barely tagging him. In fact, I was kind of surprised that hit. I thought we'd have to circle around. My Peace Rhine still in the area, is looking for the 2A1 NL. May as well take it down if I can. And 1, 2, double miss. Each one of those would have been right at the side armor as well, so that would have been a kill. Should have been a kill. Second Peace Rhine double miss there is really obnoxious. You do the math on it, it turns out it's like 1 time in 10, a little under. It's about, oh, I think 1 time in 12, maybe? That you should expect a double miss off a Peace Rhine. But we got 2 in a row, so, you know, that's likely, right? Sure. So, 2A4NL was hoping to get a couple of shots on the Stutroopen, and I'm just trying to push this board position a little bit, because I'm getting kind of tired of him coming in from here. I should have had ATGMs this way, but the Grenadier, the YPR 765-25, this is a lot of armor, it's a lot of punch, and the Grenadier screening forward will mess up fragile things like ATGMs that I want to have in the woods here. Of course, if I had any, as it is I don't, I just have a 2A1 moving forward, and this is why this map has always given me a lot of trouble. There's so much ground to cover, but keep in mind, Leopard 1 NLCO. This is a command tank from the Dutch faction to top armor, and we're watching it drive in all the way into Gulf. So I had vision on that from the Commando's Para right along that road. If you're going to do something like this, I highly recommend that you consider putting some smoke down in front, just blinding your opponent, and not just in one place either, because if you blind me in one place and it gets capped, I know where you are. Get it in a couple of places. By the way, that was next, and I was looking for the Verkenning. We didn't even get a YPR there either, goodness gracious. MLU coming out to chase. So, at least that's an expensive buy, 160 points on the MLU. But, yeah, could have been a little better than it was. Now, he has cap golf. That's a +2 for the Captain Pushistic. I have a 49 to 41 point lead right here, but that's pretty slim, and he has a +2. Of course, that's 30 points a minute. I'm looking at decapping Bravo. So my Legion 90 got all the way through here. I think he was trying to chase me with the Grenadier and the YP408s, but they got just stuck on a couple of reservists, and should have probably been forced paths through there, but that sort of stuff happens. It's okay. Now, this was sort of one of the final nails in the coffin, I would say. Losing that 100 point to A1NL, losing this position, not being able to defend himself in Bravo and here is really, really deadly, because if I can attack up into this land reinforcement route, he has to start coming from the back of the map. And Peace Rhine going in, we finally get, yes, double hit right there. All I needed was 1 again, but at least the Peace Rhine was done being a complete chucklehead, shall we say. Oh, man. Oh, goodness gracious. The first couple of minutes of this fight, compared to the last couple, felt very different. I was sitting there going, okay, well, I queued in against a captain, he's crushing me in the opener, what are we going to do here? But, you know, my biggest advice for this sort of thing, just stay scrapping in. You might surprise yourself, you might get a lucky break, and we had a couple of lucky breaks here, we really did, and they made a really big difference. So we've decapped Bravo now, ticking down to a +1 for Pushistic, and really I just need to recap Foxtrot, but that's already on the way with a Fuchs Milan. I don't think I have anything in a Command Helo. Well, sorry, not Command Helo, Command Infantry and a Helo in this. I think I have the Fuchs Milan, and I also have a Command Tank. Maybe a little questionable for 1v1, where the Panther could be just such a valuable transport for your Command Infantry, but we get another kill on a Verkenning. The Riplug are not that accurate, And these Commando Para at the time were just looking to make sure that he didn't park the command tank anywhere that I just wasn't aware of, and just try to clear out this little bit of woods and then move over as my reservists are grinding against Grenadiers. But this was less important to me than Bravo, so I want my second group of Legion up here. 2A4 should be moving up relatively soon, but I didn't have enough anti-air and recon around this. Notably, not a lot of recon. That is a big problem. So VBL Mistral is moving up just so I don't get this thing killed by another H-64 TD, which my opponent clearly likes his helicopters, so I didn't want that to happen at all. And then, I don't know, I reach this point in time sometimes in ranked where I just don't really know what to do, and this was one of those moments. I could feel the victory was close, didn't really know how to get that last little bit right there, and it's in part because, again, this map is so wide, it's just a bit of a stumper. So my rolling threes are here. That can protect against planes on this side, but if he sends a plane around here to my 2A1, excuse me, then that's not going to be far enough range. It's just not going to be good protection. This, by the way, was complete just playtesting, I suppose. I was gun running his Stinger team, and I get punished for it, which I should have. That was greedy. It was stupid. It was just a little bit of a let's see how this goes. We did kill the Stinger team. That's not worth a peace run, though. Oh my goodness. Okay, so MX-13 VTTs moving forward, Legion 90, two of them securing the town in Bravo, and this one was attempting to secure this on-ramp with his Erix's, and the other one I wanted securing the bridge here, just in case he had something in, just in case he gets a recap and starts sending something forward. And here's the H-64 TD I was worried about, and as I said, my rolling threes way too far away. I think in hindsight I was relying a bit too much on these heavy tanks. Yeah. Well, live and learn, and as soon as the 2A1, I had his gun off to try and avoid getting spotted, but he opened up with his secondary and gets taken out right there, so a little unfortunate. Going in with Peace Ryan, looking for that H-64 TD. If we land both missiles, we can get the kill here. Let's see, 1 and 2. There's the kill. Peace Ryan's 2 for 2 on helicopters, way less than that on ground targets. These guys are truly multi-role. It's really pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, 130-point kill right there. The MLU was clearly on cooldown still, so he didn't have time to come out. And this, as much as it was a bit of a crisis, and I guess probably an even trade considering I lost the Panther so far, it could be worse. It would be better if I had my Commando Marine micro properly from the start and they had used their LRACs to take out these PWI, but, well, ranked is stressful. So, as a result of this game, and I think one other, I did actually make it up to First Lieutenant in ranked. We'll see that second game here in, either tomorrow or in a couple of days. I do want to space them out with a couple of live gameplay recordings, a couple of tournament matches, and I had a fair number of requests for Community Cast. Plus, it's getting very close to my wedding, so I'm not entirely sure when this one will go up. I get married on the 17th. I'm probably going to do a video pre-posted for that, so I apologize. I'm getting a little bit projected out ahead, but I'm trying to hedge my bets for the honeymoon as well, because I will be gone for a fair amount of time. I don't want to leave you guys high and dry with nothing after, well, almost 2/3 of a year now of nearly daily videos, which has been just a wonderful, relaxing hobby for me. It's been pretty awesome. This bombing run was the opposite of that. So his bombs correctly predicted my Legion 90 would push into these woods, and very nice positioning on them too. Just, yep, right there. Down we go. Double stack of Legion 90 gone, and he actually recapped Bravo. I was really surprised. I didn't see anything come up here on this ramp. I didn't see anything come over here. He, I think, walked them up. Yep, Steph Inhide right there. Just right over the ridge. Pretty creative. He might have wanted to go up there until I killed his infantry, but not entirely sure. AMX-13 VTTs, by the way, 5 points, single MT Browning, enough to fend that off. So never underestimate your 5-point boxes. They can get a lot done. And we are also trying out the Puma 330H Cassiope, which I've heard is overpowered. It's never really worked for me before, but I'm trying it more as just a little bit longer range anti-infantry tool, and this is clearly doing very well. My Commando Marine were getting wrecked by those 2 trooping, and we got the stun. We actually turned it around and saved that remaining Commando Marine. So if I had done that earlier, it would have been a very different story for my presence on that side of the board. Now, we are getting into the last minute or so, and part of the reason for that, you can see you didn't have a single YPR coming in there, is the AMX-13 VTTs kill his command infantry, and that has to feel so rough. Oh man, it's just a bad day. We did also decap golf, so now we're actually taking +3. As soon as I secure golf, which I probably can at this point just off of sheer kill-to-loss ratio advantage, I have just more points on the ground than him. That's going to be a +4, which is, it's over. In 20 minutes that actually gets to 500, relatively well, and I start pulling in reinforcements from his reinforcement zone, having capped Bravo with command infantry. Leopard 2A1, Mistral, Cassiope moving up, all of this, calling in some infantry here, and this is just, you can attack Alpha, you can deny Bravo, this is the end of the game, and my opponent does realize that and withdraw. So let's take a look at some of the highlight units from this game today, and we will have more ranked for you in a little bit of time here. 2A4, killing the 2A4 on L, that's already punching up, very nice, and just a couple of other supporting role kills, YPRs, Grenadiers, the YP408C and V, all that sort of stuff. Hey, it's gravy, I'll take it. This is the VAB at the very beginning that killed that command infantry in a truck, and then we have just a fair amount of value out of things like the VABs over and over again. The H-64 Escort, the one of them that killed the H-64TD. Peace Shrines could have done a little bit better, but some of that was just bad rolls. You're not going to really count on getting double miss twice in a row off of a Peace Shrine, and you're more likely going to see something like this, where you do get the Leopard Verkenning, and you do get a helicopter every once in a while as well. So Peace Shrines definitely MVPs of this game, and that's going to be all we've got for you guys today. Thank you all for hanging around, and, well, we'll see you real soon.